saw behind-the-scenes TV world, and that's okay.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Okay, take it away.
All right, well, now we are talking about a revealing documentary where society is manipulated by Google and Facebook.
Yeah.
Let's say I type in, what's the best dog food? It has to look up all the dog foods it has in its database and all the websites associated with those dog foods. That's the filtering. But then it's got to put them into an order, and that's the ordering. So the filtering is biased.
Executive producer and executive director Matthew Taylor and lifestyle expert JoJo Pastors to tell us all about what this is about. So, guys, welcome here to CT Style. We appreciate it. We might need you as our director today. Do you want to get back there and help us out?
No, I'm good
okay,
today.
Yeah.
You're busy. Yeah, you got other stuff to talk about, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is cool because you kind of came up with this concept. You've been following social media, Google, all this stuff for quite some time.
Absolutely. I love technology, and I've watched the rise of Facebook or Google. I think they did a lot of really good things, but in the last couple of years, they've been caught doing some not so good things, and I felt that it was important for our country and for the world to start discussing what are the ramifications of using their free products, and we made this movie.
Yeah, so what are the ramifications? I mean, what do you reveal in this piece that will surprise people?
Everything. In the past, you have Apple and you have Microsoft, and they sell products. They sell iPhones or Office. These new companies, Facebook and Google, we are the product. Our information is being sold to advertisers, to governments, and in some instances, law enforcement.
Shared everywhere.
Everywhere.
So
shared and sold
what's the message? What do people need to do now that they have this information?
Well, we need to be more skeptical. I mean, things are not really free. Gmail is not really free. When you use Gmail, you're giving up your information. It's being collected. A profile is formed on each one of us, and that information can be used, again, by the government, by law enforcement. It can be sold to anyone and everybody. You tell Google more than you would tell your closest friend or your spouse or anybody.
In Gmail, too, I watched the movie, and it was all the different conversations and things you may have heard through the years, but then everything was in the movie. And Matthew and his team, with all the research, and there was so much support of everything we had kind of thought and heard through the years, and then his movie shows it all, but specifically Gmail.
Yeah.
Drafts. Anytime you have a draft, it's recorded and kept. It's archived.
Even if you don't send it.
Even if you don't ever send it. How many times do you do drafts?
Quite a bit, but what are some other big takeaways for you, JoJo? I mean, was there anything that stood out besides Gmail or anything like that? I mean, what's the big takeaway for our viewers?
I think the big takeaway is to definitely be more cautious. Definitely know that there are eyes watching you at all the time. Somebody's listening to you now all the time as well.
Absolutely.
All the time?
Now you're freaking us out.
Actually,
I'm like,
at the panel after the film was over, they did give some examples of different platforms that we can use, that we don't have to use the traditional platforms.
Absolutely.
So that it's starting to...
There are some alternatives. I wouldn't use Gmail. I wouldn't use Android. I wouldn't use anything made by Google. Preferably not Facebook. But you can use Proton Mail. You can use Signal for messaging. There is currently no alternative for search. Google is 90% of search. We used Google search to make the movie. It's impossible at this point.
Well, just finish up by telling us how folks can see this for themselves.
Absolutely. It's currently on Amazon and iTunes, and you can go to www.thecreepyline.com for more information. But please go watch it on Amazon Prime. Please download it on iTunes, and gird yourself for the future.
Yeah. And I'll be sharing it on all of my platforms too. So
we'll have to check out JoJo online. JoJo Pastors and Matthew, thank you so much for joining us today on CT Style.
Thank you for having us.
No doubt about it. We'll be back in just a moment with more CT Style.